Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to the Huzzy Spectates series, the series that me as a diamond player spectates a certain rank, and today that is Bronze 4. So obviously on the lower end of the rating system, on North America. So today's highlighted player is actually Partying Chair, playing Caitlyn. So yeah, Bronze 4 North America. Unfortunately, I don't have the screenshot for LOL skill. So we can't have an overview of the episode. But just to mention a couple of things before we begin the spectating itself, is first thing, because this is a very, very low rating game, obviously there are going to be some people, and I've seen it in the comments going, Huz, why didn't you point out this, or why didn't you point out that in past episodes? I purposely do not say everything. Because the person who's the partying chairperson themselves, this is designed to be basically a mini coaching series, basically, and I don't want to overload people. There's no point overloading somebody who's Bronze 4. They don't have to think about everything under the sun. You've just got to think about some very big, basic mistakes that you make, and you'll probably see an improvement. Furthermore, the second video of the day, so this is the second video of the day if I've done it quick enough and correct enough, because I'm actually recording this on the same day of its release, which is not good. But the second video of the day moving forward on the channel, you'll expect, obviously, this series, probably like 2 times a week. We've got the A to Z series returning. We've got Huzzy on NA, which obviously you guys enjoyed episode 1. Episode 2 will probably be coming on Tuesday. And then finally, league discussion episodes. So those are the 4 different types of content that can be uploaded as the second video of the day. And obviously now, Climb to Master being back on the main slot of the day. Huzzy on NA, I would just say Huzzy on NA might be the main slot of the day when that gets uploaded, because obviously that is a sponsor slot type video. So that might be a main video of the day. But other than that, that's kind of what we're looking for. So let's unpause. Let's just kind of go for an overview of what I don't like. So, first thing I don't like is, let's just slow the game down, is I don't like randomly Pantheon top lane with Smite, everybody. Again, I know this is Bronze 4, so you're not expecting good play, but that is not an excuse for picking Smite in top lane. That's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for not paying attention in champion select. No matter what rating you are, that's not an excuse, is being Bronze 4. So, that's the first thing. Pantheon's randomly basing, and then I have no idea. He helps Smite early. Maybe that's what he's doing. And he's actually overstaying for the blue, but now leaving. Okay. Next thing I don't like is Lux support. So Lux is not a support. And I know a lot of people are already going to type going, ah, no, this person does it. Or that. She's not a support. It's that simple. She's a mid laner that is gold hungry. Again, if I'm touching my eye a lot, I apologize. My eye's actually going a bit weird at the moment. But she's not a support. It's that simple. She's designed to be a gold-hungry mid laner that is item, basically, hungry. That she needs items to do her job. And in the bot lane, she can just get wrecked. And yeah, there'll be games, examples that she'll do well, but she's not a support. If you want to be taken seriously in League, don't play Lux support. I see it way too often in lower ratings, and there's a reason you do not see it in higher rating, or there's a reason that certain people play it. Don't play it. So what I'd like to see from the Caitlyn basically in the early game is just decent last hitting. You've got to be very careful in this matchup of the Nautilus engaging on you. And that's one thing I'm going to say is I'm scared of their combo, the Jinx and Nautilus combo versus my team. So my team, Caitlyn Lux, has good damage. But if when Nautilus gets level 2 or level 3 and he decides to go for an all-in, if they manage to get onto the Lux with Nautilus and then also Jinx's mines, her E, I think my team could be in trouble. Like, I really do think they could be in trouble. So we'll have to look out for that. But as for the game in general, what am I kind of looking for both teams to do? Obviously, there is a Master Yi on the enemy team. Whenever you see a Master Yi in lower rating, people think he's OP. He's not OP. All you've got to do is control him. And let me just quickly pause the game and just say, what type of control does my team have? Pantheon W, Warwick Ultimate and Fear, Syndra Stun, Caitlyn Trap, and Lux Bind. That's a crazy amount of control when you're grouping. But if you're split pushing, or if you're going alone, that's where a Master Yi is going to exceed this game. Again, I've not watched this game. I have no idea about the outcome or anything. But that's where I would say this game could boil down to, is split pushing versus grouping. The same goes for Tryndamere. In a 1v1, Tryndamere will wreck Pantheon later in the game, especially because this Pantheon randomly has Smite, not Ignite. So Pantheon probably is not even going to get an early lead, which he probably needed to do. So with Tryndamere outscaling, with Master Yi being good versus, like, 1v1s and 2v2s, what I would want from my team is that definite grouping in mid-late game. That's what I would say right now, and we're only 3 minutes in, is what I'd want to see probably around the 20-minute mark. I'd probably want to see people grouping. So, yeah. Right, press on. So we've got Warwick in the river. So you're going to feel a little bit more confident if you've got your jungler right here. So what I'd want to see is probably Lux moving up looking for a bind. Instead, she's walking back. Okay, keep walking. Just walk straight into the Jinx. Literally, right now, go. She does miss the bind, but this is still okay. Warwick has to move. Way too slow. Literally just... And then randomly flashing. Okay, yeah, this is very low rating. Again, I'd never want to be mean or anything, but this is... Yeah. Okay. They do get the kill, which is good, though. They might actually get a second. There's the bind hit. Keep her DPS going. One more auto. And he actually kills himself for doing that. He might have been dead anyway, but he definitely killed himself 100% by going back in. His best bet was just continue running. But yeah, a lot of bad play we just saw there. Again, I don't want to rip it apart because it's very easy to rip it apart. You know, when you're watching a video, when you're watching a replay, you can go, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. What I'd say the main issues, and again, that's what I'm talking about. The main issues that went wrong then was Lux took way too long to actually do anything. Way too long to do anything. And Warwick didn't react about a second and a half late, and then used flash for no reason. Like, there was a lot. Those are the main issues there. What Caitlyn did, I actually don't think was that bad. What probably could have helped is if there was vision in this bush to see where Nautilus was. But I don't even know if she needed to use both summoners to get out either. That might have been a little bit of panic because Jinx was preoccupied a little bit while Caitlyn was running away, and Nautilus doesn't have a crazy amount of damage in the early game, so. Potentially could have saved the summoner, but it's okay. Like, again, we're not looking to min-max here. We're just looking to do okay. Boom. Get that nice last hit. So, item build-wise, Nautilus randomly has a rejuve bead. I don't know why. Okay, the basing going on, so let's just speed up the replay. So, I don't know what the rejuve bead is doing there for Nautilus. What item does that build into? Off the top of my head, I don't actually remember if that builds into anything specific. We'll have to find out moving forward into the game. So just to point out, is Pantheon is on 7 last hits versus Tryndamere 37. I wouldn't even put that down to the Smite versus Ignite, to be honest. I just put that down to this guy probably not knowing what he's doing. Again, maybe he actually took Smite on purpose, but you can see he's not actually looking to last hit. But maybe he took Smite on purpose because he just doesn't really know what's going on. That might actually be it. I didn't actually think of that as a possibility. But it might be. Okay, so Warwick is fighting the Yi. He might not get him, though. Oh, he did. Nice. That's really good. He needs to make sure that he's okay. Missing mid lane, and Pantheon is asking for help. Tryndamere does take some tower damage, which is good. Returning to bot lane, though. As this lane is going pretty good, honestly. Like, not bad last hits. Like, really not bad at all. And getting that BF sword for power in the early game. So what I'd want to see from my bot lane is continuing the pressure. Where's the auto attack? There could have been one more auto attack in there. Okay, so just point out, I know I said I'm not going to do crazy amount of min-maxing, but there was at least a second there that the Caitlyn didn't even go for an auto attack. She went for the E. Auto attack, then E, because it's an attack reset. Get the most damage you possibly can at any one time, and you'll be doing a lot better. Because, you know, when somebody survives on 50 health, people don't think about it, but if you did one auto attack 30 seconds earlier, that's that one kill. That's the 50 damage. So always be looking to do the most damage you possibly can at any one time. Good pressure, though. What will be interesting to me, though, is the Lux's build. If she doesn't go Sightstone, then that would really annoy me as an AD carry. Because you have to remember, what people kind of sometimes fail to forget, you are still playing support. Even if you're playing Brand, Vel'Koz, whatever the damage you're playing, really nice. One more, okay, cancel the auto attack there. But they do get the kill with Ignite. That's good. But yeah, no matter what you're playing, if you are playing support, you are still a support. One of the fundamental jobs of your role is getting that vision down. And you may not necessarily need it for lane phase. Like this right now, they're wrecking. Lux may go, I'm just going to go for damage and snowball. You need it for mid-game. You need it when you're grouping. You need to know where enemies are coming from. So that vision is extremely important, if not the most important thing for a support to get. What I'd say right now, if we look into the gold, that they've got 1,000, just go back. You know, go back, use that gold, keep building an advantage. Because right now, you're as a Caitlyn and you're half mana as a Lux. Whenever you have gold and you're overstaying a little bit from not buying, you're risking it. Because you're not on the most power you possibly could be at that one time. So, potentially, I would push it here and then go back. Because by the time that this pushes in, Jinx will be back. A lot of pinging going on. Jinx will be back. There she is. And you have time to go back because she'll push it back into your tower. Alright, they go for a dive. Warwick does get the kill. Tower diving a Tryndamere. Yi is top lane. They should be grouping. And let's see what happens here. Where's Pantheon going? Okay, so Pantheon nearly cost that kill, I'm going to be honest. Is that Pantheon doesn't have a lot of confidence, I guess. But yeah, that was good play by Warwick. I like to see that aggression. And now Warwick's 401, so that's really good. So you've got a 401 Warwick. You've got a 102 Caitlyn, a 102 Lux. And mid lane's pretty much even. So that's fine. This game's going quite well for my team so far. My only concern really will be the Pantheon moving forward. Like, from what I've seen so far in this game, Engage coming out of Nautilus, this is what I'm a little bit worried about. Literally, I've spoke about it earlier on. The damage combo between these two and the tankiness from the Nautilus could basically just punish and wreck. If that hit, that would have been good. It could just wreck the Lux. Because the tankier that the Nautilus gets, the more damage that the Jinx does, the more likely that the Jinx is going to die. Like, not the Jinx, the Lux is going to die. Because, yeah, she doesn't really belong as support. But yeah, as I was saying, my concern, as Yi, this game is the Pantheon. This game could kind of turn into a 4v5. And again, I don't like to be mean, but from what I've seen, this game really could be a 4v5. Pantheon are coming to clear the tower. They're going for tower and bot lane. Hopefully Warwick can get down there and just cover it. You do not want that tower to go in the early game at all. Hopefully he doesn't suicide, though. Like, if he jumps in here and just dies, obviously that's not good. But he should be okay. Ooh, that's actually a really good play. Nice. If he survives here, then great. Nautilus, okay, he does flash. I don't know if he needed to flash, but it's okay. So he stops the tower, he gets the kill, he gets the exhaust from Nautilus, and voila. Pressure returns to my bot lane. So that's good to see. I will say a lot of mana usage from the Caitlyn for last hitting. Like, we haven't specifically talked about the Caitlyn a lot. And honestly, because it's been a general okay play for Caitlyn. There's nothing being crazy going on. There's a lot of the time, as a Caitlyn, unless it's just a big mistake, Caitlyn, to me, is the easiest AD carry in the game. Like, she's got higher range, she's got basic mechanics. Like, she's a great AD carry for anybody to play, whether you're bronze, whether you're diamond. She's a fantastic AD carry to play. And there's not a lot you can get wrong as a Caitlyn. Okay, where's the damage? Where's the damage? Where's the damage? And dead. Nice kill. Really nice kill. Again, things are a little bit slow for my liking. Like, again, this is bronze 4. But, like, we want stuff to happen instantly. If there's damage you can do the damage instantly. Warwick is looking for Mussy. He does come across a Nautilus. Lux is looking to back up. Mussy is probably going to return and probably just get killed. Damage on him. Damage on him. Just do all the damages, and there we go. So Warwick is very fed. Caitlyn doesn't need to move. She's doing the correct thing right now. Her own support went to go back up the jungler, which was the correct decision. And it keeps Caitlyn in lane, getting farmed, and just doing generally quite well. So this game's not going bad at all. Kinda. It's going good in a lot of the map, but very bad on another part of the map. And that's what we'll see moving forward, basically, is because if a Tryndamere... his farm is actually really good. He's got 85 farm as a Tryndamere. So gold-wise, he's not behind. His build's a little bit weird. But the Tryndamere's not doing bad. He just died to the fed Warwick. So we'll see, basically, the difference with the top lanes. Because that right now, in my head, I know I've said it before, but that is what I'm nervous about right now. Is... the 4v5 potential. And what I'd say, if you are ever in a 4v5 potential as an AD carry, you basically have to play so defensive. Like, you've got to take your opportunities very carefully and just be smart about it, basically. This is very overextending from these two, so they have to be careful. Just get out there, let the Caitlyn keep farming. But yeah, there's the Mussy doing blue buff. Lux is going to look to do something. Might be able to bully that a little bit. I'd be a little bit more patient, but Warwick is now coming in and probably just going to kill Mussy instantly. There we go. There's one kill. He's going to get the blue, and now he's going to turn on the Nautilus. Meanwhile, Caitlyn got a kill on the Jinx and also double kill. Let's go back and just see what happened with the Jinx, though. I presume I know what happened. I presume Jinx was just kind of not paying attention. Oh, wow. Aggressive flash coming in from Caitlyn. And we'll just crit the kill. Oh, wow. That's very aggressive play by Caitlyn. Usually I'd say don't go for that level of aggression, but it was okay. Like, she might have been able just to walk here, but it works. Double kill. now you got a 702 Warwick and you got a 402 Caitlyn with 95 CS. Like, very good, very good. They're going to go for a tower. Unfortunately, First Blood Tower already was taken in the top lane. There's the tower down here. What I'd want to see as well from the Syndra is do something. Like, if you've had a Syndra not really go for crazy aggression on the Karma, you're playing that matchup wrong. Karma is a support in mid lane. Like, she doesn't do great under pressure. Or... Okay, you got a flash. Karma didn't even need to flash that, but that's okay. That's a good thing for my team. So I would want the Syndra just to be bullying out the Karma as much as she possibly can. This is a little bit risky. Like, I know the Master Yi is really far behind, but it's still a Master Yi. You can't underestimate him as an AD carry. Like, he could try to just kill you, and if you can't really get away from him, you probably will just die. So he is just trying to get to the Caitlyn. You can definitely tell he really wants to get this kill. But with people around, Caitlyn wouldn't die. They might actually go for a kill on him in a second because this Scuttle Crab is on its way here. Caitlyn does back. If Caitlyn didn't back then, he was dead. He screams through those two and runs directly on a trap. Oh. And there's a kill. So the Master Yi saw that trap and just continued to run into it. So obviously, I don't need to point out that mistake to you guys. You guys know about that. They're going for mid lane tower. Hopefully my team will be able to counter it. And Warwick, in the meanwhile, is soloing the Rift Herald, which is fine. The one bad thing, okay, just to point out, is that they go in mid lane this way. And now they're herding them basically to the Warwick. You don't want to do that. So what I want to see from my team here is probably chase them. Or even like a Pantheon ult to go here or something. Because if they walk and see Warwick, Warwick could be in trouble. So let's just keep watching around this area. Nothing so far. If nothing happens, I'm happy. Okay, well, we're pretty happy. Let's return to the bot lane, though. So what I'd want to see from the Caitlyn now, she's got Eye Edge and a Zeal comparing to Jinx's items. I want to see the occasional auto attack. What we haven't seen as well from this Caitlyn in this game is making use of her passive. So let's just quickly talk about Caitlyn passive. So Caitlyn passive is Headshot. Every few basic attacks or against the target she trapped or netted, Caitlyn will fire a headshot, dealing bonus damage that scales with a critical strike chance. Or on trapped or netted targets, Caitlyn headshot attacks range is doubled. We haven't seen Caitlyn that much use these procs to throw an auto attack out. Like, I haven't seen it basically at all. And you want to do that. Basically, if you watch high rating Caitlyn's, whenever they get that proc, every single one of them, pretty much if they can do it, is going to be on one of the enemy champions. Every single time. Because that's just bonus damage that you're doing way more. Other than just using it for last hits. So that's probably one thing I'd want to see moving forward. Because again, it scales with crit strike or critical chance. You've got an Eye Edge now. Like, you're going to be doing a lot of damage compared to the Jinx. Like, a crazy amount. So that's what I'd want to see. And also you got Zeal as well. Critical strike chance. Nice, they get a kill on Tryndamere, which is good. Tryndamere dies actually with ultimate up randomly. And what Caitlyn should be doing right now is basically playing very careful. You're alone in a 2v1. There's no point to risk anything. This game is going very, very well. Again, I wasn't expecting... Like, one thing I will say to the people that give me these replays is generally I don't love stomps. Obviously, the game right now is 14-0 with not basically any mistakes. So there's not a lot I can talk about. Obviously, we are going for the 2v1, but she does manage to get away. Nautilus goes for a way too late ultimate, and Caitlyn's under tower, quite safe. So, yeah, if this game continues on the path that it's going, this is going to be a very free win with limited mistakes because of the enemy team. They are going for a dive, which is actually a little bit risky. There comes the late Syndra ultimate while actually holding a minion. They've got to be careful because the bot lane did just go like away. So I would presume we're about to see people coming up from this way. Tryndamere is going to go directly for the Syndra. There's the Jinx in the bot lane that we were talking about. Warwick is probably going to get the first death or not. He actually managed to escape. Syndra might be the first one to go down, and she is. So unless this is the turning point for this game pretty much is like over with a gold lead of 5,000, 15-1 with objectives. Because, you know, it's not just... what are you doing? I'm still nervous about that Pantheon. Nice damage coming out. Where's the trap? Oh, see, okay, big mistake. As a Caitlyn, one of the worst things you can do is throw an ultimate on 1, not 100% a kill, and 2, when people are coming towards you. Never do that, because what people don't understand, your ultimate right now as a Caitlyn does around 400 damage, roughly. Your crits with your IE at this stage of the game, with how far you're ahead, will be doing more damage than that with the attack speed. So in the time that you're ulting and it charging up, you might have been able to get 3 auto attacks off. That's way more damage than that ultimate. Only use your ultimate if it's like the fight is over and someone's running away, or it's just a free opportunity. That wasn't free, and your auto attacks will be doing more damage. So just point that out. Really basic. I pressed the wrong thing apparently. There we go. So Dragon is coming up in less than a minute. Obviously we want to get that with the lead that my team have. Like, this Pantheon must have a big smile on his face. Like, he's less than half CS, and I'd say the one good thing he's done, if you can call it that, is that he hasn't died. So at least that's a good thing. Yes, he lost his lane. Like, there's no comparison really between the lanes. The Tryndamere died both times to ganks. But what you could also say is the Tryndamere must have played that lane not aggressive enough. If he's winning that farm really highly, he's not then using his pressure. Like, if you look at the gold, Tryndamere's got 6,000. Oh wait, quick engage from the Nautilus. I want to see a trap from Caitlyn. Very little mana, but I would think there would be one. Tryndamere's going for a flank without anybody actually focusing him. It took a really long time for Caitlyn to actually do anything then. He does go down eventually. Warwick is going to be looking for a kill on the Jinx, but he's under tower right now. He's now tanking the tower. Got to be a little bit careful. Covering for the stun. That's a Pantheon ult that's probably going to take too long to land. And they pick up the tower. Okay, so that's an okay situation. But yeah, going back to what I was saying before, the gold. 6,500 for Tryndamere, 4,800 for Pantheon. So there's not even a competition right now. She gets hit, but that does manage to go back. But I don't know. I'm oddly still nervous about this game. Like, it's weird, but like a 6,000 gold lead for a 15 kill lead at 18 minutes isn't actually that much. Like, I would actually expect it to be a higher gold lead. And especially that your gold, basically, they are starting to spread it out a little bit more. Like the Caitlyn's 504, 318 Lux, 70 Warwick. But, like, it's not perfectly spread out. If the Warwick dies, I think my team is going to struggle a lot. Because the Caitlyn, although doing great, really good play, she's very vulnerable to a Tryndamere. She's very vulnerable to a Master Yi. So here's the... That was a random Pantheon smite. Ugh. So right now I was just say, I'm not entirely sure that I like what's going on. 2 people top lane, 3 people here. You're splitting your team, and yes, you're very ahead, but you're splitting your team when the enemy team like that. Like, when you break down what their comp is, Tryndamere loves, like, little skirmishes, like, Karma's good at teamfights too, but their comp is more suited to little skirmishes than your comp, just because of the 2 main Tryndamere and Master Yi. But I do think they're giving up with this, so it's good. They get the dragon, which is nice. Karma's over here, they're going to be careful. They're going to go probably for a dive on the Master Yi. There's the Syndra ult, and he just gets killed. So there we go. Nice play. Going for those aggressive dives. But yeah. What I'll say is I'm going to upload this one, because obviously this is somebody on either the Patreon tier or the Twitch subscriber. And this is the replay that they wanted, and I do that in the series. If you want your replay done, that's it. But it's not really the best for education. So they are going to try and get Tryndamere. Lux ult was a little bit weird. Where's the traps? So one big thing we've seen from the Caitlyn, there's not a lot of trap play going on. Just to kind of point out, if I'm not mistaken, again, I don't play AD carry that much, but I believe you max traps second on Caitlyn. Like, I might be able to actually check it really quickly, because traps are your bread and butter as Caitlyn. Like, your E, sure, you can do that occasionally. People actually max, usually, I'll say this right now, the highest win percentage on Caitlyn is maxing your traps first. Above your Q, it's maxing your traps first. But the general one that, like, every single Caitlyn does is maxing Q and then maxing W. So yeah, don't max E second. Your traps is your bread and butter as Caitlyn. Always has been. It's that CC that allows you to get away from people and also get that bonus headshot. So your combo should always be looking, if someone's running at you, trap, they hit the trap, you auto-attack, you E away from them, and then you auto-attack again. Like, that's a crazy amount of damage, but it requires traps to do that. Obviously, it requires E as well, but traps are a little bit more consistent when you're putting multiple of them down to keep people away. Pantheon does a lot of contemplating, just, you know, standing still, going, what do I do? Don't be standing still pretty much ever. Like, standing still means you're not doing anything. Like, this Pantheon, in theory, could be farming jungle. Like, at least that's something, you know. He's got smite, so at least he could be using that. So, yeah, don't be just ever really standing still. That would be a little bit weird. Alright, Caitlyn not coming down. Boom! The Jinx tanks it for some reason. Master, you could tank that while using W. Okay, I don't like the Jinx being all alone. If Nautilus were to come around here and just see C-Lock, okay, he's over there, it would have been a little bit troublesome. But item builds, okay, so let's just go into item builds of what I really don't like. Again, this is the lower end of bronze, so like bronze 4. But Nautilus, no Sightstone. Lux, no Sightstone. Maybe the basic stuff go over people's heads here, but basic stuff, you have to have vision. Vision wins games. I know a lot of people in lower rating have the mentality of, oh, God, the wards don't give me kills. Wards do give you kills. They inherently give you kills by knowing where people are so you can kill them. Like, you can't always rely on people running into you. You've got to know where they are. And neither support having Sightstone to me is just mind-blowing. So it's a little bit weird. Again, what we will also point out is right now on the map, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a spoiler because I just want to. Let's see where the wards are. One ward here, one ward there, but let's just point that out. Those are both red wards on their own side of their territory. So the red team has no vision at all of this side of the map, but neither does blue. My team that's winning this game has no vision currently. Not a single ward on the map. That is really, really bad. When especially you're winning and you're ahead, you want to look for picks, you want to look for engages, and you don't have a single ward. No control wards, not even the trinkets are being used right now. Like, get that vision down. It's very, very, very important. There's a ward, yay. But yeah, don't underestimate wards, everybody. Even the Caitlyn being this fed could have a control ward. Like, there's actually an enemy control ward that we actually didn't see, apparently. But yeah, control wards are great because when you have priority in the game, like right now my team is winning like crazy, you could ward, and because the enemy team is so scared, that control ward is going to be so cost efficient because they probably are going to be too scared to do anything about it. So Tryndamere is going to go for split pushing. I'd probably say that is the best thing he probably can do. Lux ultimate coming down with Karma doing return damage. They've got to be pretty careful right now. This is not free. If Nautilus gets a Q off, then Caitlyn is dead. Potentially. The heal comes down, which might have been okay. So here's a little bit of an engage. Where's the auto attack? Oh, Caitlyn had a free E onto the Master E. Now just kill that guy and then run away. So it works out, and I'll say it works out because they're so fed. If this game was an even game and kills and everything, that would simply have been a dead Caitlyn instantly. Jinx Rocket comes down, getting 1 kill. Jinx Rocket might do more. No, she gets caught by the Lux. Good play by her. Rourke is returning to top lane, doing a bit of split pushing. Pantheon's going for an ultimate into the middle of nowhere. So this game, yeah, it just does kind of seem like a stomp. If something doesn't magically change, then yeah. So we're going to speed up the game a little bit because, yeah. They're going to go for 1 kill on the Nautilus with the Warwick ultimate. Now they're going to potentially get caught, so let's watch this. Warwick in the middle of their base going for a trade on the Master Yi. Karma's shown up doing damage to the Warwick. This is going to be the Warwick's first death. Shut down. Which was very greedy. You know, going for that play and being in their base when you're only 3 people, you got to be careful with that, right? You got to be really careful. So I'd say moving forward, don't do that greedy stuff because that gives an opportunity for the enemy team to make a comeback. And I know it's very unlikely at this stage of the game, but it still exists. The place where the most comebacks happen is in lower rating because people don't know how to close games and mistakes do happen. Mistakes happen in Diamond. But obviously, the lower rating you go, more mistakes happen. So what I'd want to see from my team, and maybe even the Caitlyn can lead this, is grouping to end the game. Grouping because you're so fed. That's a lot of damage from Karma. Grouping because you're so fed, not split pushing a Syndra for no reason, to go for the Nexus. You're ahead right now. You need to use that lead because if you don't and you go alone and you get caught, Tryndamere especially, like the guy I was actually scared about this game. Why did he flash? That was weird. Is going to punish you. 100% going to punish you. Again, this enemy team comp wants to get picks. I said that from the beginning of the game. You got a Master Yi that's going to be hard to control. Even though he's 0-8, it's still a Master Yi in low rating. A Tryndamere in low rating. Both are very hard to control in a 1v1 or 2v1 situation. You have to go as 5v5. 5v5 this game would be won probably in the next 2 minutes. Group as 5, walk up the mid lane, get that, boom, game over. But if they don't, this game, like I said, I've been nervous about this game. I'm still nervous about this game. Like, okay, Warwick is the most fed person on the enemy team. Tryndamere is only 4-4. Let's see how this goes. So, Warwick does win it, but imagine if Tryndamere had ultimate then. Because Tryndamere did actually waste his ultimate over here. If Tryndamere had ultimate then, I actually would think Warwick would have died. I genuinely do believe that. Unless Warwick timed his ultimate perfectly, then yeah. Warwick could ultimate. Or they're just going to go boom, 1 kill. Ah, he misses his ultimate, but it's okay. They get 1 kill on Master Yi. And Syndra picks up the blue. Jinx up top. They are getting surrounded, so this is what I don't like. Is that they're not grouping at all. So Syndra is actually going to die again. So there's another death from her. Warwick is going to try, and she actually flashed on the spot then. Hits the Nautilus with the Caitlyn ultimate. Pantheon goes for a flank, gets 1 kill, and Nautilus doesn't see the others. Okay, so there we go. This game, I would think, is going to be over very soon. So it is 25 minutes. It would surprise me if the enemy team doesn't surrender, but let's just keep watching. They all should be attacking this right now, or trying to CC the Tryndamere. Alright, so just to point out again, we have not seen, it's been the biggest weakness of this Caitlyn herself, is the lack of using traps. Traps are so important. When Pantheon jumps on the Tryndamere with W, stunning him briefly, put a trap underneath Tryndamere and you further that CC and give yourself more damage. It's just a completely free move as Caitlyn. Alright, so my team continuing to go for pressure, but they are splitting, so they probably should just back out right now. Caitlyn should just walk away, otherwise she probably will die to Tryndamere. So here we go, here's some damage. Where's a trap? Put a trap down. Nope. Okay. And now again, this is what I'm worried about. So you got Caitlyn going alone, Pantheon. Okay, here's the damage. Just damage, just damage. There we go. So 2 people died in mid lane. The Warwick and the Lux. But they do get the Master Yi. They might actually get the Tryndamere. Oh, Caitlyn's position not great, but they actually get the kill in the end, which is good. Caitlyn should just run away, let the guy die. Boom! Rocket, though, gets a kill. Syndra now turning up. Gets a kill. No, she doesn't on the Karma. Karma survives. And yeah, this game is turning slowly. And I do not like it, man. This game should be over. But it's becoming too close because of just the lack of teamwork by my team. Syndra's dead if she's not careful. She just killed herself. She didn't have enough damage for that. She's not a fed Syndra. This game, I don't know. This might not be a free win. Maybe this is why the person actually gave me the replay. And I'd say, right now, it is partially to the Caitlyn. Like, put to her personal play is partially why this game is getting thrown. Because the lack of traps is causing the enemy team to be able to go on. Like, if you want to go for this tower, why not trap line? Like, again, if I'm not, again, mistaken... So, with not maxing traps, this Caitlyn right now can only have 3 traps up at once. When you are maxing traps, you can have more traps out activated. If you want to go for this tower, it's very easy. Just trap here, auto-attack it. You beat the range of your traps, and the enemy team can't really get to you that easily. So, that's a big mistake from my Caitlyn, is just going for that general play of maxing E over W and not focusing on your traps as much. Because that could make the world of difference. That could change this game entirely. And also, you know, you got to be careful with positioning and stuff. Caitlyn not coming down. Pantheon was a little bit confused. And they're going to continue going for something. Jinx actually might get caught out, but I'd be very careful with her positioning. She's okay for now, though. Maybe they'll get the kill on Nautilus, and they do get the kill. Good. There we go. Lovely. So now what I want to see is, again, we've randomly got a split pushing Syndra. Clear this in like 1 spell and then start running mid lane. Like, there's no reason, there's no positive thing for you being there for an extended amount of time. There really isn't. Because I'm nervous about this. Okay, good damage coming up by the Lux. Unfortunately, a little bit too slow. Pantheon ult's way too late as well. Warwick ult coming down gets the kill, which is nice. Tryndamere is just going to go for the Syndra. She's probably actually going to die because she's alone. Boom, they get the base tower. Syndra just goes down, but they are going to get an inhibitor, which is great. But yeah, I just don't understand the Syndra's playstyle this game. And again, maybe there is nothing to understand. Maybe there's just not a thought process going on. But I'd like to think people are thinking about while they're playing. You know, I really do hope that. So now base tower damage is coming out. I'd be very careful about this, though, because you are relatively low health and Tryndamere is returning. So what I'd want to see is E. Okay, now all the CC. Layer the CC. No CC. Where was the bind? Where was the trap? You know, very basic stuff. If you're not going to CC him... And smack. So this Tryndamere actually could turn this game. It would not surprise me. And Lux also gone down. Yep. Okay. Oh dear. That's an ace for the enemy team. Again, partial play. It's mistakes by a lot of people. Like, it truly is. But it's very basic mistakes. And I know a lot of people are going to go, yeah, it's bronze 4. But again, I need to point it out. And it's mistakes by everyone. It's the mistakes by Syndra by her split pushing randomly. If she was grouped, then Tryndamere wouldn't split push. Like, if you're 5 people and Tryndamere's by himself, you're going to beat him pushing. You're going to force him to come back. Also, if you kill people in the enemy, that will even more force Tryndamere to come back. That's a Baron for the enemy team now too. Furthermore, is when they are going for these plays of overextended, looking for the towers and stuff, you need to layer the CC. You have to. The Lux Bind, that's how you make a Tryndamere or a Master Yi useless. The Lux Bind into a Caitlyn trap, into a Caitlyn E, into a Warwick Fear. Like, you really can make these people useless if you just use that combo correctly. So Master Yi and Tryndamere in the top lane. Where's the E from Caitlyn? Okay, I want some CC going on. There's the Fear. Now you're seeing the chain CC. And there's the Caitlyn ult. Too early. They do get the kill though, which is good. But now you can see, they made that Tryndamere do nothing. Absolutely nothing apart from trying to run away. Because you just chained him. Like, Lux Bind, Caitlyn E, Pantheon W, Warwick Fear. He did nothing in that whole time. Just also to point out, Warwick is a movement speed champion. I'm sure most of you know that. He's still got tier 1 boots. That's not great. You don't really want tier 1 boots. Again, Pantheon's having a daydream or something. I don't know what's going on here. Yep. He's done a few of them this game though, so yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit weird. Red buff from Caitlyn. Again, what I want to see from my team is grouping. I don't want a Warwick to be top lane alone. I don't want a Syndra to be mid lane alone. I want grouping to go on. Like, he's probably dead. Like, let's see what happens. So, the W... Yeah, he's dead. Free death. No reason for Warwick to be there other than, I don't know, not thinking. And he just literally just gets killed. This game really should be over by this point. Pantheon has finally woken up from his daydream. What I want to see is Syndra rotating over to the right. I don't know where she's going. If they don't start to rotating, my team should back away. Back away. They're making a mistake. Okay, now the trap. Nope, no trap. And this is all because of just random no grouping again. Like, I thought this was, you know, in my Unranked to Diamond series, this was very popular. Yeah, it's solo queue. It's just generally solo queue. So this game, you can see the gold, everybody. So they were 7,000 gold ahead, if memory serves correct. They're now 800 gold ahead. This game is not looking good anymore. And it's not looking good, not because of how fed people are, not because of items, because of playstyle. Syndra running through the enemy jungle with no vision, potentially could be running into somebody. Why? Just doesn't make sense. So what I want to see is just everybody together. Whether if it's mid lane, I don't even care. Like, you've already got the inhibitor, so you don't really want to be mid lane, but at least you can be together and go for an ace or something. I don't like this. Again, greedy play. There's no reason to go for this play. You're 2v3. Now it's a 3v3, but Pantheon's dead. So the people... And now Warwick's going in by himself. And 1 kill, but Warwick's dead, and Syndra's dead. And I'd say no one on this team can say a bad thing about this. Like, no one, because everybody's doing the exact same mistake. Like, if my bot lane right now are going, hey guys, what are you doing? The same could go like a minute later, what were you doing here? Like, nobody in this team is doing the correct thing together. And that's the problem. That's why they are losing a game that they were ahead by a crazy amount. And yes, I would say partially we are kind of correct that the Pantheon literally is not doing anything. Gold-wise, Tryndamere's on 16,000 gold. Pantheon's not even on 10,000 yet. Like, the Pantheon, really, you could probably not even, like, have him in this game, and the outcome would probably be roughly the same. But that doesn't defeat the point that my team was so far ahead in just general gold that if they just grouped as 4-man, they would have been fine. Like, trust me, as the experience that I have, they would have won this game. 100%. I'm actually predicting now they are going to lose this game because the tables have turned too much and the playstyle has just fallen through. So just keep watching. Also, just to point out, is Jinx is now level 16 compared to level 14 Caitlyn. That's all the experience that she's been getting of just free farming basically for a while. And Tryndamere is just going to split bot lane because nobody can stop this Tryndamere. Here's the thing that I've been saying the whole game, is nobody can stop this Tryndamere in a 1v1 because you have to group. You have to. But now it might not even matter. Like, if say, right now, my team respawns and they decide to group, this game might already be over because of how fed a Tryndamere is and now how strong the Jinx is. This game might be too far gone by the just general mistakes of everybody by just not grouping. So I don't like Caitlyn being here. I would just leave this tower. If they start walking up, leave, because they are just going to dive you and kill you. But let's see how it plays out. Bot lane, we are still watching a little bit. Lux can't stop the Tryndamere. They're going to go for the tower. Caitlyn is backing off, which is good. Tryndamere gets the kill on the Lux, because, yeah. And going for the inhibitor. Caitlyn, if she walks into the Tryndamere, will simply just die. So I don't know why she's walking into the Tryndamere. You knew he was coming that way. And yeah, she just walks directly into him for some reason. And yeah, I'm going to predict this game as a loss. And it's not one person. Like, yes, Pantheon arguably has done the least out of anybody. But I don't really... Like, here's the weird thing. I don't blame that guy for losing the game. I just blame the whole team for losing the game, because this game was a victory. But when people were greeding, going for plays as an individual, like the Warwick up here, or my bot lane here alone, there's just no reason. And it's everybody's fault. That was a random Warwick ultimate. Okay, that was a bit odd. I don't know if he pressed the wrong button there or what happened. But yeah, you guys, like, again, I don't really need to point it out anymore because you guys have seen it yourself. That's the cool thing with replays. And some people are like, oh, I don't know why people, you know, pay Huzz to do this or get coaches in League. Some people won't see this as a problem. This Caitlyn sending this replay in. Again, I don't ask for any information, but she may have thought that she did fine this game. Like, she may have ended this game going, I got a positive KDA, I did fine. That was a random heal. What's happening with the random ability uses? We had a random Warwick ultimate over here, and now we have a random heal by Caitlyn. What's going on? But this Caitlyn might have ended the game going, I did fine. You know, it was my team that threw the game. No, it really wasn't. Like, it was everybody. Everybody was involved in throwing this game equally, in my opinion. Because of just the weird play. Like, if you are down here as your bot lane, and you die as well, you are partially responsible for that because you're alone. If you leave the Lux and she stays, well, that's Lux's fault, but you did stay. So that's why it's everybody's responsibility. Okay, so now, finally, my team has decided to group. Finally. But the moment that they decide to group, people are having doubts. But Pantheon's backing away. My team don't really know what to do, because it all depends on what this Tryndamere does. And because of how fed he is, he's going to be the ultimate distraction for the enemy team. So right now, my team are a little bit don't know what to do, because if Pantheon goes alone, he's dead. If two people go, they're dead, and these people are staying mid lane when Tryndamere basically is looking to kind of try and end. Like, Lux is going to go in here. I don't think he's dead. I don't think this Tryndamere will die basically to anything. Now my team, by the way, just to point out, because of the Tryndamere being back here, two people now in base, that makes my team outnumbered. That makes 4 enemies and 3 of my team, yet they continue to stay. So what happens? Enemy team knows that. They see Lux walking near the Tryndamere. They see Pantheon. Hey, there's 2 people in the enemy base. Let's engage. That's what they do. They catch Warwick. And Warwick's dead. And that's one of your most fed people. Furthermore, Tryndamere, you had full vision of where Tryndamere was, yet Syndra is running directly into him. Luckily, they get some nice CC, but I don't think it's going to matter. Boom. There's the Master Yi and Tryndamere being useful. Caitlyn gets blown up instantly. There's the CC come from the enemy team. And that is game. So this was a loss. That was very painful. Earlier I was like, hey, why did this guy send me a stomp? Well, we now know. It was a completely turn. So that was an interesting one. If you guys, like, I guarantee some people probably would have tuned out thinking it was just a stomp. If you made it to the end of the game, give your thoughts on it down below. And again, don't be too mean to people. Like, this is Bronze 4. Like, again, we're not expecting crazy play. The coaching points that I want to give when I do these series are relevant to the rating of the game. There's no point me going over crazy mechanics and in-depth analysis in a Bronze 4 game. There just isn't any point. But to the Caitlyn specifically, whose replay this is, what I'd want to see from you is just a bit smarter play, is trap usage. And now that you've heard me say it, hopefully you'll now prioritize your traps more and max your traps and look to use them, because that's just Caitlyn's general play style. And also looking to, you know, if you're sieging this tower, putting traps in front so the enemy can't walk towards you is just Caitlyn 101, and it's very, very powerful and strong. But then also the grouping thing. Like, again, you can't blame anybody else other than yourself that you position your character by yourself with your Lux here alone. You're the one that's doing that. That's not your Lux controlling it. That's not your team control. That's you. So I'd be very careful with your own reasoning for split pushing. Be very, very, like, just think it through. And you might be like, oh, I was there and I was waiting for my team to get to me. If that's the case, don't be so far overextended. Or you run to them. Go group with people that don't want to group. Just, that's the easiest way to do it. So that's going to be this game. We'll let it go to the explosion. Disappointing, I imagine, for my team. And maybe some of them are finishing this game scratching their heads at how they lost. But by this replay, we can see very, very clearly how that happened. Getting caught. And yes, Pantheon didn't really do anything, but I think my team could have still won this game if they just played it the basic of grouping with Caitlyn traps in front to siege the tower. Anybody that runs towards them, Trindim and Master Yi, use your CC. Lux Bind, Caitlyn E, Warwick Fear. Like, you had so much to deal with, but you just didn't use it. But that's going to be the extra video of the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. That's it.